But who do you have for your disappointing team?
You guys mentioned this team who's leading the NFC North. I'm saying the Detroit Lions. This Sunday, guys, they had an opportunity to get a win where I think us and everyone else in the media and league wide could say, no, this is their first legit win, because people are going to have that week 1 win with an asterisk. No Travis Kelce, no Chris Jones for the Chiefs. That offense only puts up 14 points, and their other wins, sure, it's the NFL, they're professionals, but Bucks, Falcons, Panthers, Packers. Now is the time. You're on the road. You're playing a good team in Baltimore. Hey, show up and show out, and let's go and dominate the game. And they got dominated. And I will say this: anytime this year Detroit has to throw the ball 53 times, they're losing that football game.
Yes.
I get David Montgomery was out, but you spend a first-round pick on Jahmyr Gibbs, you still got to give that running game a chance to get going. And as I see this other player in Philadelphia keep playing, I keep telling myself the Detroit Lions could have taken Jalen Carter. They could have had Jalen Carter and Aiden Hutchinson, but Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell wanted to do their own thing. They took a running back in the first round that surprised a lot of people, and he had 11 touches or 12 touches, I think, on Sunday. And their defense looked like the defense from last year. Only one quarterback hit all day on Lamar Jackson. He had time to bake a cake back there. And only 2 tackles for loss. That's just not going to do it. And then another thing I found interesting, and this is what I was most disappointed is Dan Campbell, I think it was Aaron Andrews. I'm not so much disappointed with the energy of my team. It's just the execution and how we're not making the right plays. So you admitted on TV your coaching staff didn't do a good job getting these players ready for this game. You want to win in Detroit? Don't come out and say, "Oh, I like our energy," but hey, we're just not making the right plays. That's on you, Dan. So just all in all, these Lions looked like the old Lions, and I was upset with them on Sunday.
I'm staying with a game that's in the NFC North, but I'm going with the Raiders versus the Bears. The Bears suck. They have a Division II QB a year ago playing right now. He has their starting quarterback. And the Raiders literally put up less than 250 yards total offense. Brian Hoyer got outplayed by this D2 guy, got benched in the second half, and it was like 30-6. If you're the Raiders defense, you let them run for almost 200 yards. Like, what an absolutely abysmal performance. It wasn't bad weather. It was 60 degrees out in Chicago, so you can't blame it on that. But just an absolutely pathetic showing by the Raiders right after actually looking decent versus the Packers the week before.
Well, and you know what's funny? That Division II quarterback, Ethan, what was his backup plan if he couldn't play football? Oh, I was just going to do CrossFit and try to get ripped as possible.
Oh, yeah. I'm like,
you
what?
let a douchebag do that to you?
Yeah.
You know what his dad is like a world champion arm wrestler too.
Why do I want to punch this guy in the face? And why do I think
he looks like a badass? He really does.
Well, he kind of does, but he also looks like a giant douche who drinks Monster Energy. And
Mr. Energy, you should create an energy drink.
And just does God knows what with God knows who. Who am I kidding? He probably has Four Loko in his basement. He's drinking the original Four Loko. And his interview, the original Four Loko, that brother had his hat on sideways, looked like T.I. after his in-game interview. I mean, Josh McDaniels, 3 Super Bowls as a coordinator, and you let that guy beat you?
Time out on the Four Locos. I saw a guy shotgun one of those once and then drive in his car.
You should have called the police.
Yeah, immediately. You should have called the police.
He is now a sheriff.
What was that?
He's now a sheriff.
Oh, there's so much misconduct going on in that police department. It's disgusting. We need to check that evidence room. Stuff's been tampered with.
Yeah.
He actually runs the canine unit.
Oh, someone's getting bit by a dog that shouldn't be getting bit.
Yeah. Watch the Illinois Rockford area. He's gonna be on there, I tell you.
Oh, son of a gun.
Oh boy.
Positive news. T-Wolves are on a 13-2 run. Let's go.
Yeah, and Orlando just beat the Rockets 116-86, so the road
That's
to
really not
82-0
saying
is
much.
still in play.
I,
Hey,
I
hey,
love
have you
that,
watched
Dylan.
Orlando play? Have you watched Orlando play the last couple of years?
Pablo
A
look
win
like
is a
one?
win.
Dylan, I
I
have watched zero Orlando because they're not on national TV.
hey, same.
I think I
Let's
watched them
see
once
what
versus the T-Wolves, and they beat the living hell out of them.
Who the Magic beat the
Orlando
Wolves?
beat the.
Last year, I feel like they beat the living hell out of them.
Okay.
I think you're right. Yeah. Let's see here. Paulo was. Well, he only shot the ball 6
Cat
times.
complaining about a call on him.
What a surprise.
Never a surprise.
Cole Anthony led the way with 20 off the bench.
Didn't he
Franz
just get an
Wagner had
extension?
17. He did. But back to the NFL. My disappointing team is the team that Grant's team was playing, and it was the Chargers. And I might have picked this because I may have had the Chargers covering the 5.5.
You are so stupid.
And well, was I though? Because it seems like every time these two play, it always comes down to a field goal game. It always was close. We've criticized Brandon Staley plenty of times here on this podcast, and rightfully so. But and we've said he's an incompetent head coach, but I didn't expect his incompetence to reach the level like, nah, we don't need to cover Travis Kelce. And
No one
and
does.
then the
It doesn't make any sense.
Nobody does. Nobody covers him.
yeah. Especially with Taylor Swift in the building. You know he's going to want to have a big game to show off.
Wait for it. You could say there's giant blank space in that Chargers defense on Sunday.
Yes.
Hey.
Oh, that is good.
You walked me right
and they
into
just
it.
You're welcome. And the offense, they just could not finish drives. What we've criticized Kellen Moore for, he doesn't adjust at all. They let Pat Mahomes throw for 300 yards in the first half, throw for 400, and if they chose to throw the ball a lot more, Pat probably could have broken the passing yards record for a single game.
Not gonna lie, I almost picked the Cowboys as my disappointing team just to piss you off.
That wouldn't piss me off. I was disappointed they didn't play because they couldn't win, but
it is frustrating seeing these teams suck that the Vikings lost to this year. Bucks, Chargers. Like how
all
easy
games they should have won.
Be like 5-2 right now.
Well, they on Monday night the Vikings made the 3 to 4 plays that the other teams were making in those games.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, like the Jordan Addison, the play right before the half.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we saw it in the first third play of the game.
First drive of the game.
And then they make that play, but they weren't making those plays in those losses. They did, and they turned it around.
Turn the script.
And